Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming on to share with you how to make these vintage cluster embellishments but using playing cards. I've always wanted to use playing cards as embellishments, but I've always found it a bit daunting because I've wanted to keep both sides because I usually really like the back and I wanted to keep the front. So what I've done is I've made these little glassine pockets here, just so I can slip the cards in and I'll still have access to the back and the front. And I've just made some clusters over the top, and that's what I'm just going to do, like a little craft along video with me. I will have a separate video on how to make these pockets. I didn't want to do it in this video because I didn't think everyone would want to see that, so I will leave the link to that video in the description box down below. It'll be my previous video or the one ahead. So yeah, wanted to show you this. Let me just show you how you could use these because I think they look really effective on the pages. So this is quite a grungy junk journal that I'm working on at the moment. So for example, that would look great just on the side of the page, and you could use it as a half tuck spot for something else, or it just looks great on its own. I have lots of pages that are small like that, so you could put them on there, or these ones sideways orientation. So yeah, they're just little embellishments just to bring your pages to life. I think that one looks great on there. So let's get started. So all I'm using here are scraps, okay? I'll keep those to the side just so you can see those for reference throughout the video. So here's my little bag. I've got some really nice old playing cards, and they are really grubby, so I'm just going to get one out of there. I've chose to use the black because I'm using black and white photos, so I think it goes quite well. And all I'm going to do is place that in there. Now that bag comes up a little bit too high on the card. I think I want a little bit more of the card to show, so I'm going to cut a little bit off there and I just eyeball it. Okay, yeah, I like that, and I like that it's popping out a little bit more. What you can do as an optional extra is you can cut like a little semicircle out of it. I don't recommend that you use punches, you know, like your circle punch, because it won't go through this, and I've ruined a couple of punches doing it. If you've got a punch that you know is going to work, then definitely do it, but I just eyeball it, so I graduate in, I go down. They're always off centre, guaranteed, they're never even, but the majority of it is going to be covered by the embellishment. So there, we've just got a nice little curve, see, totally off centre, but it'll be covered anyway. So there we go. So what I do whenever I'm working on a project, I get one of these, usually get like punnets of fruit in them, and I just keep these for all little scraps. So I have prepared a couple of scraps just so you're not seeing me fiddle around in my massive scrap bucket for about 10-15 minutes throughout the video. So I'm just going to show you what I've got. So I've got music pages here, and they've got like old bits of sellotape on them, which I really like. So I've got my image that I'm going to use, and this is from my digital kit. Again, the link will be down in the description bar, and I'm going to have a bit of the sellotape showing, I think, over it. I am going to ink that. I haven't inked any of the others, but I will ink that one up, just because I think distressing the edges do just make them pop a little bit, doesn't it? So I'll have that there. See, look, automatically straight away I'm covering my little dip anyway, but that doesn't matter too much to me. And I wanted to balance it out because you've got a bit of structure here and I want a little bit of structure over this side, so I've got a little bit of black card paper type thing that I'm going to put there. And then I'm just going to play around with what I've got. I don't like this straight edge here, so I'm just going to rip that. I still want my black to show through. There we go. Okay, so I quite like that, and then what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add like a little bit of a detailing coming across the picture. But what I want to do first of all is add some cheesecloth underneath. Now you've probably got cheesecloth in pieces like I've got here. So all I do is I just get my roll, fold a bit out that looks like it's going to be the appropriate size, cut it off, because you always want to ruffle it up a bit, don't you, to make it look nice and vintagey. And then what I do is, because that's a bit stark, you can use distressing, so you can do that if you want to, but all I do is I keep a jar of tea. So this is just really strong tea made with 3 or 4 tea bags, and I don't keep it sitting here for ages, but I do just keep a lid on it just because I've got a cat. Keep it here maybe for a week or so, and all I do is I just bunch that up, dip it in my tea, and then I just wring it out, put my tea to the side, and then what I have is I have like a, it's actually a spare bathroom tile, so I'll just open it all out, and then I'm just going to dry it quickly with my heat gun. Only takes less than 30 seconds, but to tea dye that cheesecloth, because it gets so tangled when it's wet, you'd have a job. So I'll just do it in individual batches as I go along. So I'll just get my heat gun on it now. Now these tiles are great if you already don't have one. I put my heat gun on it so it drips all the excess glue onto there. You can usually pick them up, samples free of charge from some of the shops. I'm pretty sure you can pretty much all over the country, world. Might be different, do let me know if you can't. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that underneath. If there's too much in certain directions, we'll trim it off afterwards or bunch it up. So that's worked out okay. There's a bit much there, so I'll probably, you know, stick it like that. I actually don't think there's enough anywhere else, so okay, too much over that side now. Okay, well what I think I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start sticking it all down. Just because it's moving all over the place and I just losing the layout constantly. So if you move quickly as well, you can, if you want to add something in between the layers, you can just pull it up usually. So that was going about there, wasn't it? And that brown piece down the side. Don't think that's 100% dry, so just give me a moment. Yeah, much better. Okay, there we go. Yes, so much like that, but it's covering too much of that, too much of the glassine bag, so I want to bring it down a little bit to the side. Okay. Nice amount of glue, because don't forget you've got to glue through the cheesecloth. That can always come over if necessary. Okay, so what I want to do now is add like a little word embellishment. And what I want to do underneath that embellishment is just add just a little bit of texture. So this is net curtain, again tea stained. You can tea stain that in a nice big batch though, because it doesn't give way anywhere or get tangled. So I'll add that there. I should have run that through the sewing machine first. I want to add a little stitching detail, so I can't do it on there now because I've already glued it down. What a wally. So I'm just going to run that through the sewing machine just to give it a little bit of stitching detail. So I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Let me see if that's focused. Yeah, so it's just got a little bit of stitching along there. Again, I just like that. It just adds a little bit more detail, I find. There we go. Hope you're all in focus now. So I'm going to add that there. Maybe play around with it a little bit. And all I'm going to do now is just add some of these Tim Holtz clipping. So let me just think of one that goes quite well. With shining eyes might go quite well. Down to the river. What about beauty and grace? That's a bit small. Needs to be one that's a little bit bigger, I think. Down to the river then. And I'll just use a little bit of ink just to distress the edge. There we go. And there we have that. So I hope that's give you a little bit of inspiration on how to use playing cards and how to also use vintage photos in your journals. So there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do leave me a comment down below if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram for regular updates. Bye!